father jests at scars that never felt a wound. O light through yonder window breaks, 'tis the east and Ophelia. The moon's light, arise, fair moon, slay lustrous sun, who is well sick and pale with grief that thou, my heart, are beyond me.
That's not quite right.
We once portrayed the couple in a play. Now we are.
Stanley.
See her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. Speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious as the night.
Stanley, Stanley, wherefore art thou, Stanley?
Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a coffelstone. What's in a name? That by which we call a rose? By any other name would smell as sweet. Ophelia, the streets are a murmur. Dread some brigand is home from Trent. All eyes are on him. Come with me to the docks. Let us away. Trust me, if I am that boy you fell for that night.
Oh, Stanley, lead the way.
Welcome to the Tomes of Time! I'm the timekeeper, or Chaplain Lance from the Civil War. And these are my lovely victims. Well, I mean, players, of course. Who will now introduce themselves, starting with my fiancée extraordinaire.
I'm Nola Moore, Nolan Paranoid on TikTok, and on Twitch, where I stream my own D&D game that my fiance is in. And in this campaign, did I skip? My Wi-Fi lagged.
Yeah, it froze. You said that your fiancé.
In this campaign, I am Nella Vokane, who is the barbarian of the group.
You okay? Are you good? You muted yourself.
Oh, my bad. Okay, hey, this is Kyle St. Andrews. I play Captain Edinburgh. Oh, I'm echoing, my bad. I play Captain Sean the Butcher Edinburgh.
Okay. And our cleric, Donatello, played by the Black Doctor 21, will be arriving as soon as he can. He will, in fact, end up being a little more tardy than he thought, but that's all right so long as he is here. And actually, to provide space for that, we're going to rewind a little from the party leaving the dock master's quarters, and we're going to follow one captain on his adventures for the evening of this day on which they have arrived in Vahlen. We'll wait to recap, I think, until Doc gets here. Does that sound good? Alright. So, Captain, everyone started heading towards the church. Nella went off her own way. Where did the captain go?
I would have went to the southern market. Can you hear me?
Okay. Oh wait, I put up the wrong thing. I'm sorry. That's the old town. Whoops.
Oh, this is better. It makes more sense now. Let's see.
So, I think last you were
hung around the food and market.
Yeah, last you were in the food district, I believe, and then you'd started heading up, like the others.
Food marketplace.
Okay, you're just gonna hang around there?
Yes.
Okay. as you'd come a lot closer to noon, as the afternoon rolls on and the sun is slowly tilting further and further towards the horizon. The nature of some foods are changing. It's becoming a little bit less small grab and go and more hearty foods being offered. You roll. Would you say you're closer to the northern or the southern end of the district?
I would be more towards the. Let's see. Probably the northern end.
Okay.
Northern. Is there a festival of some kind going on during this?
Do you ask around?
All right. Do I need to roll anything?
No. If you're asking around, people easily tell you. No. This is how it usually is around here. It's just food to be had. The Emersons run the whole district. They set the prices. They put up the standards of what can and can't be served.
Okay. So you said the food changes at a certain time, right?
Yeah, the food is shifting a lot more towards the evening meal.
Okay, the evening meal. That's the reason I was asking, was there a festival? Because I didn't know if there was a... So the food changes to evening meals. Got you. So where's the rest of the party at?
Last you saw, the most of them were heading north, talking about going to the church, where Nella decided to go further south.
So what district?
You would have had to have asked or followed her.
Okay, my bad.
It's alright. You see Deacon snooping around some of the food vendors. The Tabaxi tavern hand who has set up residence in your ship's supply closet.
Let's see. So if the deacons are snooping around, does that mean they're following me or following the crew?
He's just looking at what people are serving.
Okay. I'm trying to think, do I need anything for the ship? Is the ship inventory good?
The ship needs Deacon scrounged up some food, but you don't know, maybe he brought that with him. Because pretty much any perishable you saw on board had perished.
Naturally it is.
Actually, Deacon comes by you and you see that there's a bit of a list sticking out of the breast pocket of his multicolored vest. Oh, yay.
Jokingly, I remind him, don't forget the eggs.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of used up the one that the few that I brought making breakfast for y'all. And anything else I should add to the list? And he pulls it out, and he pulls a fountain pen out of his pocket.
Flour. I want a couple of bags of flour.
Flour. Should I get yeast too?
Whatever you need for that.
Well, I'm asking if you want, if you're gonna make bread, if you want it to rise, I'm gonna need to get yeast.
Hey, you're the master of the kitchen. I just need the flour for something else.
I'll take care of it. And he kind of slinks off.
Gotcha. Trying to think what else we need. Trying to think ahead. How's the medical supplies on board?
That's a good question. There weren't really
Because I know
any,
we've been relying on being healed.
Yeah. There weren't really any healing potions of any sort. It seems like however long that bottle, that ship was in the bottle, it's a lot of the resources for people were either used up or counted as loss as the crew fully succumb to undeath.
Okay, I would like to go to the apothecaries in the pharmacy district to get the
Okay.
pricing on some healing potions. But here's the thing is, I know there's possibly some pharmacies or apothecaries that are not ordained by the church. I'd like to get pricing from both the ones who are ordained, approved by the church, and ones who are not approved by the church.
Okay. Reading up the stuff I wrote on that.
And I don't need to purchase nothing that causes me to go to the brig. Or do
All
I?
of it, all of the signs you see as you look around. Every establishment in the district does have a little disclaimer of like approved by the Smith family, with a Smith with a Y. There's also, interestingly, as you look around,
No Smith.
as you look around, there's the Great Hospital of Vahlen, and there's also a inn called the Medica Inn. And specifically, as you ask, there are some proper pharmacies, but there are also more naturalistic, an apothecary or two ran by druids. The apothecaries are more what you would expect things to be priced as. When you look at what things are, you don't really feel like you're being upcharged. Roll insight. The first roll of the night. 14. A lot of what you're seeing, there's a fair amount of what they're carrying that's more homeopathic remedies, like essential oils, a whole little Mary Kay kiosk.
Is there a apothecary or a pharmacy here that likes to push a little more pretty much,
Real stuff?
hey, this could heal you, but you could have this problem, but we don't cover that.
Actually, as you are looking around, you come into one pharmacy where there's a person in a white coat, kind of tending to the shelves, stocking things, and he takes one look at you, He has like those old-fashioned glasses that are really small and like perfectly round and just sit on the bridge of his nose. And he goes, "Ah, you look like a man in need of medicine." Hmm.
I'm in need of
How would you?
something that could heal me when I'm down.
Oh, yes. If you're down, if you're blue, if you are feeling old and need something new, I have the product for you. Yes, sorry. I have here this bottle, proprietary, and he pulls out this little rounded golden amber glass bottle with a really long fluted neck to a little wax dipped cork. And really, really nice writing on the label. He goes, "This is Yakov's golden elixir. It's good for what is bad. It'll take care of anything you need fixed."
How much will that run?
Oh, you're a first-time customer. Let's say 15 gold. That's about half off. A little under half off, just for you. It'll bring the color back. It'll bring the
Alright.
fullness of the color back into your beard, sir.
Do you have something else that'll bring someone back from almost dying?
Oh, why certainly. The inventor of this drink first used it on a Molra pharaoh, and he came right back from the dead. Once he was just a skull in the sands of the Tarwa Desert. But now today, why, he's reclaiming his old home.
The Egyptian marvel, the treasure of the pharaohs. Behold!
How much does this run?
I'm telling you, sir, it's this stuff right here that I'm offering you. But you know what? I'll go even cheaper. 10 gold, and it's yours. This offer won't last long. I've only brought so many bottles to Vahlen.
So,
I've sailed all the way. I've seen places like Port Tanziri, the Shattered Isles, the Whistle and Amiri archipelagos. Far and wide, people have sworn by this elixir.
outstanding. I'll take 3 of them.
Perfect, perfect. That'll be 30 gold, 10 a bottle.
There to go, sir. Before I go, is there any side effects to this elixir?
Oh, people have been known to experience temporary mouth numbness, temporary dizziness, though that's more if you're susceptible to that sort of thing. Nausea, but that's normally if you take more than the recommended dose. Though the recommended dose can be beneficial, more than the recommended can be beneficial. A slight sort of shock of the taste buds is most common. That's due to flavor. However, nothing permanent. Nothing permanent.
Alright. Just wanted to know. Thank you, kind sir.
Have a good day. And remember, Yakov's golden elixir. And I will add to your inventory that you have 3 bottles of Yakov's Golden Elixir. Have you ever seen the movie The Inspector General?
Now the question is, what is the captain going to do? Huh?
Have you ever seen The Inspector General?
No, I haven't.
For the better. In the case of this. Alright.
The question is, what is the captain going to use this elixir for?
Right. So yeah, you exit as it's moved progressively more towards that cusp of evening. It's probably you've been at sea. You've had to think at sea a lot. It's probably about 5.
And I want to go back to the food district. I'm trying to head back to the ship just to hang out around it. Is there a place I could just grab food as I'm walking? Yeah, on the docks, there's the dive bars. So yeah, there's food there. I could grab food in the dive bar.
Okay.
Something small.
You go specifically to that area. You find the Anchor's Way Tavern. A shop that had caught your eye as you were entering town from the Sally Port. As you go in, there's a lively atmosphere. People are drinking, playing, gambling. On stage are the vocal musings of one peculiar Bogle, the blue-skinned, sort of bulbous-headed creature you saw playing alongside Carmichael back in Port Andal, with his lovely cropped jacket, illustrious tie, vibrant colors. His vocal capability almost operatic in a theremin sort of way.
Which I'm not social on this day, so I'll just walk up to the bar and my mistake, I will look at the you said he's at the piano?
He's on stage. At the piano is a unnaturally lithe high elf who has almost spindly limbs and fingers that are almost unnaturally long as he plucks and plays along with the otherworldly musings of this bard on stage.
So the guy on the stage, is he performing this moment, or is he just up there working, or what?
He is performing. What languages do you speak again?
Celestial, Common, Dwarvish, Halfling, Orc.
It's in the way of you can tell when a language is a Romance language, or a Germanic language. You can tell it's in the same language family as Celestial and Elvish, and Halfling. it's sort of this world's those are this world's romance languages. But you don't recognize it really as any of those. It's like, oh yeah, I know Spanish, but you're speaking Portuguese, so
Yeah.
so you don't really follow what he's singing, but it sounds unique at the least. Well, hello there.
General Kenobi.
Here's the gangs out here.
Hey.
So then we can wrap up this scene, and then you're in the exact right district to meet up with the party. Boom. Works out.
Mercy.
Whew.
You are sweating there, bud.
Not yet. I'm trying to stop that from happening.
You need an industrial fan like I do.
True.
It's not quite industrial.
Who cares if it's October and should be cold? Nah. It's
That's
90
true.
degrees.
So yeah, I decided I would be if Lance was in the Civil War.
Civil Lance.
Because, I mean, visually, clearly, Lance is me, but meant to be me. Maybe a little more filled out.
It's like he has his life a little bit more together.
Shot through the heart and you're to blame.
You give love.
Alright, so Kyle, how do you are you gonna get food? I guess I did describe they'd be dive bars, and this is specifically a tavern, so you're looking for a meal?
I was just killing time. I mean, if we want to meet up a party, meet up a party.
Okay. There's a lot of seafaring races you remember from your time. The bartender is a species you don't recognize.
Okay, cool. So we have a species of recognize. Can I roll insight and try to guess the species?
I'm having a hard time hearing you now.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right. Can I roll an insight or anything like that to try to figure out what the species is or what the species is related to?
It doesn't really look like anything you've seen before. Its skin is dark, like a gray-black. Its eyes are a pale yellow, like a hammerhead, coming from a strange, long-shapen neck, coming off the sides and orbing around. It has 4 arms as it cleans and pours and mixes drinks.
Don't know. Nothing I would recognize.
So, is that all you're gonna do there, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. As you're there, you see a what's his name? What do I call him? You see the captain of the guard from Andal, drinking and talking to a few women. And he notices you and goes, "We're howdy, Captain. What are you doing here?"
Just looking for food.
Yeah. Well, I expected you to be at the docks. Lance said he was gonna try to remind you that the best lead on the plot that we're investigating is probably going to be at the Dockmaster.
Interesting. So Lance is there now?
Yeah. Did you catch that parade that happened with Hephaestus Brigand coming back?
No, I did not. I was too busy in the food district.
Ah. Well, that makes sense. You better head on over there, though. I'm a bit indisposed at the moment.
All right. I'll head on into
All right.
the dock.
As you approach, you find yourself tailing 4 figures. I think there's an echo coming through your end. You find yourself tailing 4 figures in full, deep red robes, walking in sort of a box corner formation. And you follow them until they stand in front of the house of the Dockmaster, at which point... Who would like to recap where we last left our heroes?
Okay, if I have to do it, then I guess.
You want the inspiration?
Yes, I need it. Did you see my rolls last session?
Damn, Scarecrow.
So basically, we ended up in the docks. We were interrogating, I guess, basically the head of the docks, I guess, and
the night shift Dockmaster. So
the night guard. Yeah, we interrogated the night shift worker, and we basically found out after a multitude of false failed persuasions and failed investigations that he's actually working for the Dragonborn Society. And so we're trying to figure out how deep this trail of corruption goes.
Yeah. You found specifically a death's head and a letter that Jessica needs to take a little bit more time to fully decipher on your halfling road. Let's see, where's the captain token? There he is. And as you all turn your eyes to the out, from the inside to the out, you've spotted add stage. Boom. Y'all find yourselves both looking at this formation. Will you want Jessica Evol, Halfling Rogue, or Lance Oberus, human cleric or paladin, to aid you in this fight? You can have one of the two.
Do we want possible damage, or do we want more heals?
Maybe
Because technically, I'm the only healer here.
Yeah, and we're down a person, so I guess healer would be better.
Yeah. We'll definitely need an extra healer then.
Okay. Itzelcut goes, I will continue trying to decipher the documents. Go, fight! And Lance just kind of steps forward. What's going on here? As from the center, all of you witness there's nothing between them. Except suddenly there's a shimmer in the silhouette of a fifth robed figure as his invisibility is dropped. And you see a man whose face has a series of crisscrossed lines. His skin is ashen pale. His face is adorned with 7 deep cuts. However, instead of the color of scarred flesh or crimson blood, they are onyx black. 2 are across his lips, 2 across the bridge of his nose, 1, another set across his forehead, and a 7th scar cut is over his eye, which itself, which itself is not as his eye, but as an inky void. His one good eye, pale blue, flickers between you as you stand in the doorway. I sense it. Itzelcut. Yes. Attack! And I will ask you all to roll initiative.
I actually got a good initiative roll this time. So, Donatello, what are you going to do for your first roll? Cast Bless.
And all of you recognize that phrase. That is the...
I recognize it too.
My brain can't brain right now.
Yeah. That's the name of the onyx gemstone that is currently in the possession of Donatello. I believe he was the last one to be in possession of it.
Yes. I won't let him get away.
Oh, I'm gonna need a sheet of paper to
We
track
need more
down.
RDC World references in this game.
What?
I'm just saying we need more RDC World references in this game.
Dude, I used to watch his stuff all the time. He's so funny.
A new episode of Video Game House just came out too. I gotta watch it.
I honestly, to be completely fair, I did kind of stop watching after their little Avatar series.
Mm-hmm.
I still watched every once in a while, but I haven't looked at the channel in a while.
Is it just because you got busy, or you think they fell off?
I didn't think they fell off. I just kind of I didn't think I would get into another series like that they made.
Mm.
I guess I still watch their stuff. It was if it was recommended to me and it looked interesting. Like their Hood Olympics. I think I've seen every single one of those videos.
That's the way. That is the way.
Sending order. Before Donatello gets a chance, Rafa attempts to leap forward and strike with his staff as the one in the middle raises his hand and speaks in... Does anyone speak Infernal? Rafa does, I remember this. And he gasps as he suddenly blinks out of existence. Ah!
Oh no.
And Donatello, it is now your turn as you watch your companion disappear.
You all will pay for. You all will pay for this. And so I cast. Yeah, I cast Bless on. Yeah, on myself, on Lance, and on Nella.
Okay.
At level 1. And let's see. So that gives us, in addition to attack rolls, and also for my bonus action, I am going to summon my spiritual weapon. Oh, and since it's a 19, I'm going to put it right behind the guy in the middle.
Here it is. Where'd you put it?
Just right behind the guy in the middle.
Okay. As it materializes, gleaming golden claymore. The two figures decide to go. Ooh, okay. Thank you, concerned bystander for reminding me to roll for your NPC companion. Sorry, DMing casts Feeble Mind upon me.
Oh.
No, I
Lance.
don't want. No, I don't want to edit. I want to. There we go. And then put this back in descending order. And we go to first, actually the last in the numeric acolyte.
Wait. Before we go, I still have to get my damage in.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, your turn. Continue.
Press the button. He gets 5 force damage.
Who does?
The guy in the middle.
Okay. As it slashes through his back.
This is just the beginning.
This acolyte. What can acolytes do? What can we do? He runs up, and he will make a attempt at a slash. And as per his abilities, he will get advantage on it. Because you haven't taken an attack. Ignore the poison damage, I didn't edit this at all.
Okay.
This is where we say thank you.
Thank you, DM. Because he had advantage, right?
He has advantage, yes.
The 21 hits.
Where do I toggle off? There we go. Always advantage. Never roll advantage. Why is that the default setting, Roll20? Why is that the default setting?
Because we don't like you, says the government.
It's because we hate you.
Nila!
Because we can and we hate you.
You see this guy run up and stab Donatello just right in the armpit.
I didn't even kick that far.
I'm gonna hit him.
I want to kick. Yeah, that hit. Roll damage.
10.
Just like, no.
You slam into him. As you do, a sort of onyx jade energy flickers over where you impact, and you feel deformation. But it's not as satisfying as you know it should be when you warhammer someone's shoulder.
Yeah.
He does, however, let out
Where's the kaboom?
Wait. I think I also have an extra attack. I do.
Wait a second. I'm cool.
I am very cool.
Roll damage.
I want to hit him on the head. Like, I want to swing up to hit his head first, and then when it comes back for the second one, I go like, square in the chest.
Bonk.
Okay. You do that both times again. You see that jade and emerald shimmer over him, and you are beating him, but it's not. He should be dead. You know he should be dead. He's not. He's hurt. He's impacted, but he's still standing. He shouldn't be, given his injuries.
Do I sense anything with these guys?
Roll Arcana or Insight.
That is my
Okay.
turn as well. I'm gonna end my turn there.
Yeah, Jeremiah. They seem to have some sort of warding magic on them that's bolstering. It's not making them harder to hit, that it's making them harder to hurt. Effectively, I'm excusing why they have a high HP count. Despite how brutal combat is when you think about it.
So this wouldn't be a disease or a condition.
No, this is arcane. This is magic.
Got it.
It's sort of like they have a passive, I don't know.
Yo, they've got armor, dude.
Oh, what?
They've got an extra health bar. That's not fair.
This acolyte actually makes a move this way. And from his wrist, will fire out a bolt at at Nella. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
You take 11 damage. We're not paying attention to poison damage here.
What's that? No, we're immune. For now.
This acolyte perception is wisdom based.
Yes.
This acolyte uncannily turns directly towards you, Sean, and he is going to point his wrist at you, and a bolt fires at you. Does a 19 hit?
Is that a yes? You're muted, brother.
Yes.
Okay. It hits you for 7 points of damage. And he is going to move. He's starting to move towards you as he's drawing a. All their daggers that you've seen so far are like this jagged blade, like a daggered flamberg.
Do I notice them or this acolyte going towards him?
You do.
Nice. I let everyone know the captain's here.
The cap is in, and he'll help you out.
Don't worry, they're gonna hear me in a few seconds.
What was that, brother? You got to get closer to your closer to your.
They're gonna hear me in a few seconds.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Expand this to where I can actually read things.
Oh, a bit of word of recommendation, Kyle. Because there's a little bit of feedback, make sure you get really close when you're speaking, and then, like, when you're not speaking, just mute it so we don't get any feedback. Thank you, brother.
He is going to... Donnie, how tall are you?
Let me check. I mean, like in real life, or 6 foot. Is he shorter than me?
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Okay. Con save.
Oh! For just a moment, you feel yourself start to get to, you must realize, you can deny it no longer. You start to feel small. But then you just kind of shrug it off, and kind of stand back up to your proper height. As you see a dread scowl come over his face.
I look at him. Did you try to shriek me? I'll take that as a yes.
Let's see what this is. And he's going to mutter something as you see arcane power swirl around his lips and hands. And he is going to cast a second spell. Oh, why does he have advantage? No, he's not supposed to have it. Does an 18 hit your armor class, Donnie?
No, it is 20.
You're gonna tempt me to ruin that shield you have, you know that.
Hey, I am good. I am a good choice of finding good armor.
He shoots out his hand as from it a spat of acid, mostly in the shape of an arrow, comes and just splatters across your shield.
You shall not beat the might of the great Paylor.
And this acolyte moves over to here. He will aim at you, Donatello. Does a 19 hit?
Nope.
But it would have been 5 damage.
Come at me, bro!
Captain, it is now your turn. Sorry.
Let thyself be heard.
10 points. Alright. I'm gonna fire my pistol. My 2 pistols.
Alright. Roll for it.
First one.
Modified 20, that hits.
Here's the second.
Dealing 7 damage. That also hits. Ooh, nice, an even number. As you shoot into him, you see these, like in the newer Star Wars, when a bolt hits a deflector shield, that greenish onyx energy. Not completely stopping the bullet, but definitely taking the bite out of its force and impact. As he just smiles at you. Lance! Lance, what are you gonna do? He is... Not sure what he should do just yet. He is going to Sacred Flame the man who stabbed Donatello. He needs to make a dex save. He does not. And he receives some radiant damage. And can Lance do anything else? How many attacks this guy got? He don't. He got 1 attack. Donatello, it comes back around to you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so did the Sacred Flame do anything to the shield or anything like that, or is it just absorb it like everything else?
I mean, you can tell he's being damaged, but you can tell it On the scale, he should be getting damaged. It's not as effective.
Well, I'm gonna smack the guy in the face with my mace. Wait, no, wait. Let me roll to hit. Does it? Wait. Does a 10 hit?
A 9 doesn't beat their armor class. Wait, let me double check.
It's a 9 plus 1 because of bless.
You swing for him, and the aura around him fully stops your swing. It doesn't even make contact with the fold of the hood.
Interesting. I also use my bonus action to attack the head guy with my spiritual weapon.
All right, roll for it.
Does an 11 hit? Wait. Does a 14 hit?
It does. Roll damage.
Woo! Me and the boys gonna mess you up. 7.
It slashes into him as he takes a slight step forward. 9! The acolyte in front of you attempts to stab. Oh, they have multi-attack. None of those hit. But at the end of his turn, the figure you are plucking away with your spiritual weapon will... Sorry, 1 second. Will take a legendary action. And he will cast something. Donatello, would you please conduct a save, I believe wisdom. Yes,
Yeah,
wisdom
wisdom.
saving throw.
I have a 7 in wisdom.
This man looks at you.
Wait a minute. 19.
And you see a glimmer in the onyx void of his eye as he goes, "Why don't you give the onyx tetrahedron to me? Would you kindly?" But as he says those words, you hear this slight tinnitus in your ears as it kind of goes away, and the slight brain fog that was beginning to creep in your mind fades as the bless levels your head, and you go, no.
How about you try to take it from my cold, dead shell?
You see him mutter something again as he casts. Wait, no, this is not his actual turn. This is a legendary action.
Indeed.
That's all he could do.
That's all you could say. That's all you could say.
Niela, it's your turn.
So how hurt does the guy in front of Donatello look?
He is the most hurt of anyone so far.
Yeah.
Let's see, on a scale of that much, he's looking about a quarter roughed up.
Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna keep hitting him.
It's a solid strat.
Yeah.
Both hit, roll damage.
Nice. 20.
Perfect. Okay. You knock him on his butt down the stairs. And he hits his head and kind of gets back up. His hood actually has fallen back, and all along his head are these runic tattoos that none of you recognize. He is bald.
Bald.
His face otherwise obscured by a cowl. I need to actually mentally pull that up. Yeah, he looks real rough. He is bloodied, as they say.
Perfect.
This acolyte will continue back, and he will fire at Donatello. Does a 26 hit?
It's in 26.
They have a +6. Oof.
You take 10 piercing damage as an arrow thunks right into your other shoulder. Small, a dart, more so. Another one cascading off your shield. This acolyte that has been shot by the captain will run all the way up to him and make 2 stabbing attacks. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And pretty sure 25 hits, so you take 9 plus 5, you take 14 slashing piercing damage as he it becomes the figure in the center's turn. As he again, Donatello, would you please make another wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom save.
Would you kindly give me Vahlen? Would you kindly give me Itzelcut? And as he says those words, you just sort of like nodded.
Would you kindly get out of my head? I assure you, it is not a very safe place for you there. There's a lot of holy relics in here.
He mutters to himself, again, arcane words, as he goes, "You will not give it. Then I'll take it from your melted body!" And he casts Acid Splash on you. Would you please make a DC 16 saving throw?
Wait.
Aha!
Wait. I'm typing into the wrong thing. Heh, 16.
Meets it beats. As it approaches you, you feel both the power of the blessed, but you feel a strange pulse from the tetrahedron you have pulse through you and just push back the acid, kind of like batting a fly down. I say as I'm still dealing with gnats.
It seems that the tetrahedron does not want to be destroyed.
This guy sidesteps again, and he will fire at you, Donatello. Does a 20 hit?
Meets it beats.
You take 7 damage as another arrow sinks into you. And Captain, while you ponder what you're going to do on your turn, I'll be right back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I know you guys are doing this just to use me as the punching bag. I mean, I am the tank, but feeling invincible is also a really good thing.
Hey, I'm separated from y'all.
What did you say, brother? You gotta get a little bit closer.
I said I'm separated from y'all. This on the other side of the battlefield.
That's true, but you're still doing good work. I mean, and I see you. How much health do you have right now?
25. Don't worry about it. I got 60. It might not work. I got something.
All right. I mean, if you almost die, I mean, I'm here. Lance is here. We both see you. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I bought 3 potions for you.
Nice. That works. What are you doing? I am swimming in potions right now.
Not the potions. Oh no.
Swimming in medical fluid.
Well, see, I think when I buy stuff, I try to think ahead. Things. Like there's something with flour that come out in the near future.
All right. What's the plan? Sam? Sean?
Well, I got 2 actions, so I'll take the cutlass and I'll swing it in twice.
Okay.
Bless you. Bless you.
Both of those, actually no, the second one hits. Make sure to click that one's roll damage. Ooh,
That's a 10.
solid 10. You slash through his barrier and cut just straight across his chest. He is, however, still standing before you.
Oh!
Lance is going to draw his rapier and thrust into the very beleaguered miscreant assailing y'all point blank. Which will be just directly parried by the acolyte. Leaving it up to Donatello to potentially finish this man. Potentially. In Minecraft.
Potentially in Minecraft. Let's see. I'm gonna see what I can do. I can't necessarily make another attack. Or I could. I will smack him with my javelin.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Bless, don't fail me now. There's a 14 hit.
Do you want to use advantage?
I shall use advantage.
Or not advantage, I meant inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Whenever I miss.
That's true.
Whatever I miss, potentially he's
As you
dead.
thrust forward, it's just deflected just barely off by the field surrounding him. As he, however, takes the opening you've just made to attempt to slash at you.
I
he
also
will
have my
make...
bonus action.
Oh, sorry.
And by the way, none of those hit.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon from the main guy over here and attack him.
Roll That does not hit.
That does, and even a D4 wouldn't help anyway.
As he makes 2 deft swings at you, narrowly escaping the blade of your magic.
Looks like we are at an impasse for now.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Don't try. Lala.
Kill him.
Kill him.
I mean, she's just gonna keep hitting him with the hammer just to see what happens at this point.
Kill him now. You have my curiosity, and now you have my angst.
You
Both of
haven't
those-
died yet.
Both of those hit. Roll damage. How do you want to do this?
She's been kind of just swinging at him while he's been attacking Donatello. I want the hammer at this point, because she's been aiming for his chest, to like sink into the back of his chest and break his ribcage.
You feel like a elite sniper kill cam animatic. You just see the cutaway in your mind's eye. You see the cutaway of every bone. His organs being, as he goes, and you see this onyx and jade energy come from his mouth, like a, I don't know, and just leave him and return. Some of it, oddly, towards Donatello's pockets, accoutrements, where he stores his items, and some of it to the figure who still stands where he came out of invisibility but a few moments ago, as he falls lifeless.
After he falls, can I kind of just like, not like drop it like out of my hand, but like let the hammer end of it fall back onto his head now that he's fallen, and then look at the leader in a menacing way?
Okay, are you trying to intimidate?
Sure, yeah.
Roll intimidation. You see the man, the glow that had been growing in his eye as he'd been casting spells. The glow comes to a narrow slit as his other pupil also shrinks, and he just kind of. And he will actually springboard off that. He will take a legendary action.
Oh no.
Is it gonna be another deck save?
Is he gonna come for me?
Nella, could you please make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh no. No, she's not smart.
Oh god, she's... Wait, use your bless, madam. Use your bless.
You don't even need to. If it meets, it beats.
That's true.
You feel this strange, prickling, tickling sensation into your mind. Like fine, spindly, spidery fingers are combing over your brain. But you just kind of go... as his eye is now back to full size. He mutters something again. And he will attempt the same thing. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
Do it again.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. Oh no.
You feel this sensation rack over your mind like it's being massaged and examined.
Ew.
You see a wicked smile cling across his face where his lips are split. They separate in a strange, crude semblance of a cleft palate. As he goes, the child. You care for the child. Perhaps you will die along with the rest of you. As you know he's referring to Carmichael.
Oh, he's going for the baby.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it like that. I had him have a bonus action. My apologies. We still went somewhere with it.
It still works. Ella, what are you doing? I'm adding his name to the devil.
This one comes around to here. And he will again pluck away with his wrist-mounted arrows. Donatello, does a 25 hit? You take 7 piercing damage as another arrow. Flick! You're starting to become like a backwards porcupine.
This is getting annoying. You're loving this, aren't you?
I'm loving remembering to actually use my boss with boss abilities. Sean, the assassin that you feel you are close to vanquishing, tries raggedly one last flurry of attacks. I believe both of those hit.
Yes, I do.
Okay. He dashes into you for 11 damage. This guy takes a step back, and he will. You'll attempt one last time, maybe. Donnie, would you make a wisdom saving throw again, please?
Okay. Wait. Succeed. Meet the beast.
This game
Like, get this out of me.
This game of chess is trying.
Then why do I keep winning?
As he starts to talk, you just kind of like mock him back, and he's just like, and he attempts again. Would you make another wisdom saving throw, please? A slight portion of your spiritual weapon just kind of echoes away and just comes up as a finger to his lips as he tries to speak. As his shaven brows furrow.
Please, incant louder. Maybe your god will finally hear you. Maybe he is asleep, or on the travel, or using the bathroom, or deeply thinking.
This acolyte rushes you and will try to stab into you. This is the wrong character combat sheet.
This is the wrong room.
He stabs you for 11 damage.
Okay. Where did I put that?
Captain, what do you do?
Okay.
First attack, let me see what it is.
That hit. Roll damage.
And I'm going one more swing.
I believe you have a second attack. That we'll say that hit full damage. You don't notice the aura coming around to defend him anymore. As you slash into him, making a counter cross to the slash you've done before, he just kind of as you see his clothes become even redder as you think you've slashed through his heart, and he just kind of collapses before you. Would you like to move, or will you stay there?
Yes, I will move, but I would like to ask, does anybody have any rum they could throw me?
I'm sorry, your audio is getting really hard to hear. Is the monitor playing audio along with your phone?
No.
Okay.
I think it's
That's weird. Your audio is being very weird this time around.
It's probably just the background noise or something. So, do we have any what now?
Does anybody have any rum?
Any what?
Rum.
Rum? Nella has mutalung, which is like a her world's heavy alcohol.
Can she throw it to me as I run to rob you?
Can you motion to her in some way that you need it?
I'm hollering from the top of my lungs.
Okay, I guess, yeah, confusingly, she'll throw it at you. Do I have to roll something?
Help me!
I need alcohol. Oh, okay.
Talking is a free action. Acting must happen on your turn.
Acting must happen on your turn.
But it's an item interaction. Does that count?
That has to happen on your turn. You can throw it to him on your turn.
Sounds
Okay.
Hey Kyle, could you try turning down the volume a little? Maybe it's just loud enough that it's echoing back, or something. I'm not sure. It's weird.
Life is weird. Life is also pain. Lance, I call out to Lance. Sir, I am at 10 health. A little help, please.
Oh goodness!
It's
and
like I'm the only one who's been stibby stabbed this entire time.
He will place his free hand upon thee, and he will cast. I think this is the more effective spell. He will cast Healing Word at 3rd level because it's a 3rd level spell. How the payload compels you. Oh, that didn't do as much as I thought it would. As it like causes your body to reject a few arrows.
Ah. So how much health do I recover?
You recover 10 HP.
Nice. So he's only level 2?
He should be level 5.
And
Is it not? Did it not code how much you should have gotten correctly?
no, I mean like it's fine. That's 10 healing, but also he would have as a healer the extra ability of oh my goodness, it's the same one that I have.
So okay, I'm sorry. He crosses himself in the sign of the church. And he says, "May he heal you." And actually, everyone. No, sorry, it is just one creature of your choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ha. Sorry, yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, he is saying it to you, Donnie.
Okay.
Which it is now your turn.
Right, so that's 10.
Yes.
I am now 20. They done goofed. Let's see. What do I do? I don't know what I do. I'm thinking. I'm going to first and foremost send my spiritual weapon back to the guy in the middle, and attack him. What was that? Does a 15 hit?
Yes. If it meets, it beats.
Listen here, you little jerk. Take 10 damage.
I believe that is this guy. Yeah. Okay. And had you heard of spiritual weapon? The spiritual weapon slashes into his arm, mostly sort of like lightsaber on lightsaber contact, golden light and jade and onyx light flicker and sputter against each other with the horrendous, almost nail on chalkboard sound. It does still seem to damage him.
Nice. And I also, for my action, attack the guy that was stibby stabbing me.
I'm sorry, who were you attacking with that? Yeah, so that'd be the same guy that you just hit with the spiritual weapon?
No, the guy that I hit with the spiritual weapon is the guy in the center, the big boss.
I'm sorry, I didn't track you adding that, sending the spiritual back to him.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack this guy.
It's the same thing does happen.
Right.
That I described.
So I
All right.
smack him.
That hits. Roll damage.
8.
It still seems to there still seems to be that force that kind of catches your blow. But his nose seems deformed and starts to bleed.
Nice.
That is no longer with us. Nila.
Okay. So, I know that this would provoke an opportunity attack, but could I'm not saying I'm doing this yet, but can I just go through him, or do I have to go around him if I want to move forward?
Effectively, you could get through the doorway out into the clear.
Okay. And I know he would get an attack of opportunity. So,
unless you take an action to disengage, yes.
So at first, I want to do my object interaction to, I guess, throw my alcohol at the captain.
Okay.
He's yelling for it.
Make an athletics check.
I'm good at that.
You want to use your inspiration? Do and Sean just catches it as you toss it to him.
Cool. After that, I want to look past the guy in front of me, and I want to stare down at the leader after what he said to me, and I want to go into a rage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna...
Making me so mad.
I'm gonna do my claw bestial form. So I drop my hammer, and as it clinks, both of my kind of hands grow and very, very sharp and larger as
Oh.
my eyes kind of go black and I stare at him. And I'm going to use my charger feet to run past this guy, but towards him to make an attack.
Freaking zoom.
We'll say roll an intimidation check.
Got it.
Use your bless.
I have less. I have 16 now.
The guy doesn't. He's like, I'm not messing with that. He doesn't try to attack you as you just
Awesome.
charge on by.
So, because I'm charging, my attack gets a +5.
Yes.
Yeah, to the damage, not the roll. And I'm using my claws.
Oh yeah. The second one hits. Roll.
Okay,
roll.
so 2, 6, that'd be 11.
How are you getting 11 out of that?
Because that's that plus, because I'm charging, I get a +5 for the attack damage.
Okay. Yes.
Right? It's the attack, not the roll. Yeah, damage.
Yeah. You maul into him as the aura around him seems to be sloughed around, like piercing a bratwurst casing when you're just trying to cut it, but it doesn't go right. And your claws mar into him as he goes. I believe you have a second attack?
I thought we ruled that if I used my double claws, I couldn't do an extra attack.
In calling them double claws, I presume that meant attack. Of
Yeah.
which, so far, you've done one attack and put advantage on. Or, no? No, you didn't.
No.
Those were your... I'm sorry, I misread you. You're correct. Yes.
Okay.
Why did I read that in?
No, you should have went with it. You
Ugh,
should have went with it.
I could have
Oh.
exploited it. I could have exploited the system.
Exactly. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
2 darts come in.
Okay.
2 darts come in.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no. Wait a minute.
4
Sinking into you for 13 damage as they hit center mass. However, you're raging, so you take half damage.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. So what's half of 13?
You take 5 damage. You take 5 damage.
Okay.
Because 13, it would round down.
Alright,
At the end of that,
that guy's
there's
dead.
this one. This one is no longer with us. Priest and the guy in front of you just kind of smiles. Would you please make a charisma saving throw?
Oh, charisma. Ah, okay. Mouse is work.
Suddenly,
Oh no.
you find yourself
What?
surrounded by water.
Wait,
Water.
wait a minute. Wait, did you use your bless too?
I don't know if that would have helped. I got a 3.
Below you,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Below you is a dark abyss.
Ugh.
Above you is a slight glimmer of light.
Oh, cool. I'm sinking.
For everyone else, you just blinked out of existence, like Roth.
Cool.
I grow angry. You just turned Nella into a Kingdom Hearts opening, you jerk!
And he will step through where you once were.
That's weird.
Taking an action to disengage from the spiritual weapon.
Disengage doesn't give advantage, does it?
Disengage doesn't allow you to...
I mean, opportunity of attack.
Yeah. That's the entire point of it, and why it costs an
disengage.
action. Pedantically, the rules don't say that your spiritual weapon can opportunity attack, but I think that's stupid.
I agree.
This assassin kind of
He takes the corpse and puts it over here.
This assassin kind of kicks the corpse out of the way, and he goes to stab you, Donnie. No, he goes for Lance.
He's like, freaking move!
We'll be nice.
Thank you.
We'll play nice. He goes for Lance. Both hit.
17.
Lance is just stabbed firmly in either armpits, where his armor does not protect him. And for people wondering why that specifically, because there's only so many weak spots in your armor, and that's one of them. In case you didn't know.
My arms!
Yeah.
He looks bad. He looks bad. It's a level below y'all. He's in bad shape now. Sean, it's your turn, and you've just heard the screams of your maybe lesser, but still good friend.
Great, that means I'm on Healy duty again.
Can y'all hear me better now?
Slight for now.
Pretty
For
much.
now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if the DM will let me do this. I want to run by this guy right here.
Which one?
By him, the boss.
Yeah.
So it's going to put me to right here. While I'm running by him, I want to throw the alcohol on him and ignite him with my flintlock from my pistol.
I only have a limited supply of that. Why would you do that?
I have specialized.
My limited supply.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You can't yell. You're in the void.
That's the
How
only-
many do you just do one shake, or are you gonna do several?
I will get as much on there as I can.
It's one of the last things I have from home.
I'll buy you more.
It's from my home. I have to make it. I don't know how.
As you roll
Survival, I guess.
roll a charisma check. As this idea enters your mind, you have that sensation that humans sometimes get where time seems to slow to a standstill from adrenaline. And you see a quick glimmer of a ponchoed man who, with deftness of hand, swiftness, slightness, takes the bottle from you, puts a different one in its place, and slides the bottle in an inner pocket in your coat, and pats you on the back, all within the span of milliseconds, and then whisks away as you half knowingly, half unknowingly continue with your plan with a bottle of Jack Daniels. This will be a. I'll just have it be an athletics. To try, or a dex check to try to. It's like thrown, but in the weirdest way.
Oh no.
Add a d4 to that.
Add a D4.
Wait, no, you're stuck with that. I didn't bless you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were there when I first cast bless, so you're stuck with that 8.
However, as everyone's mind is focused on what's been talked about, the tetrahedron, except for Nella, she's in water.
He's in the void.
Sean, you feel a strange energy reach out to you. And if you choose to take, you don't get the impression that it wants to make a deal with you, just that it's offering inspiration. As the ability from the Onyx Tetrahedron is that once a session, you have the party has 1 inspiration point they can use at any point.
Do we have a deal?
Sure. Let's go with it.
All right, you may re-roll that dex. Not a save, but a check. You can roll it as a save. That probably has more bonus going into it. We'll allow that. We'll say an added thing you do. This is part of the dexterity, the deftness of it. You use your cutlass to saber the bottle, allowing more liquid to spray onto him. As you drop the bottle with the flintlock, it ignites. Down! And Nella, just as you start to see something approach from the distance, you're back, staring at the spiritual weapon of Donatello. You are soaked.
Simple and Clean plays in the background.
She's just hyperventilating.
As the magically inclined of you figure from the fire, the man just lost all concentration on his spell. Because ain't nobody got time for that while you're on fire.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Lance is just going to disengage and stumble back. Donatello, it's your turn.
Alrighty. So considering this guy, Lance is safely out of harm's way, right?
You feel like the guy in front of you could try to shoot a dart past him, but overarchingly, the enemy's focus has been on you. And You're smart enough. It's clearly related to that gem in your back pocket.
Right. So they're mostly they're focused on me, right? And how weak is this guy? How almost dead is he?
I believe this is person B.
Yeah.
He's not bloodied yet.
Okay. Well, I'll keep him focused on me. First, let's see what I can do. Can I be smart with this? That's the question. So, let me see. That's an action. That's an action. That is also an action. That's a cantrip. Which I could use. However, I look to myself and cast Healing Word on myself,
Okay.
granting me so that's 8, 9, 10, 11 plus my what is it? Disciple of Life. Whenever I use a spell, that's 2 plus. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, and then with my Bless Healer ability, that's 2 plus the spell's level. That's again 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points of health.
Okay. You heal.
So that would be 39. I'm a genius. And then I'm going to look at the guy right in front of me and say, "You done goofed."
Oh, I don't think so.
And cast my Spirit Guardians.
I believe you
And
describe what. How do your spirit guardians appear to be?
it's a they're glowing white, but they're glowing, and the actual bodies are soldiers of the Palorian army,
Okay.
and they also have angelic wings.
Okay, I believe we talked about before they had a more Crusader era appearance.
Yes.
The older, the ghosts, the other members of the parties, the other two members of the party had seen in the catacombs.
Right.
As they fly out, and
He must make a, what is it?
when he starts his turn, yes,
Yeah.
he'll have to make a wisdom. I don't like that it's I think it should be Dex.
Right, I agree. But it's also let's see, an affected creature's speed is halved in an area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. Okay.
Yes, his speed will be
So
half.
yeah. Well, it
Nella.
is. It's
Sorry.
his. No, that wasn't his turn. Go ahead.
Nella, you're back. Water's up your nose, in your ears, in your mouth, in everywhere. You are damp. You're no longer surrounded, but you are soaked.
Nella,
And you're still enraged.
yes. Nella is going to slowly turn her head. Mm-hmm.
We'll say definitely based on psychological damage. Based psychologically, you've taken damage effectively.
Emotional damage.
Nella is going to slowly turn her head to look at this leader guy, and what was once just pure animalistic rage in her eyes is now much clearer and much more filled with hatred as she just kind of fully turns and then sinks her claws into him.
Would you, along with rolling your attack, would you please roll either a charisma check or insight? Whichever you feel more confident in getting a good conclusion from.
Did those hit, by the way?
You feel almost as if there is a second force beyond yourself. As a guardian or close mentor may guide the hands of their student or ward, and an extra body guiding your movements as you turn, and roll damage for both of those. And this presence in your mind.
Nice.
There's only one thing spiritual that would be aiding you. The beast. That's a lot of dabblage.
22.
I want to slash. I want one to slash at his chest and the other to slash at his throat.
Whew. Both do. They're kind of held back, but not fully by the aura around him. As he seems immensely hurt, almost eviscerated, but he is still standing. This acolyte will fire at your back, Nella. Missing.
Misses.
Wildly.
I feel nothing.
I just closed that tab. Good job.
I'm smart.
I am ashamed. I am ashamed. I am dumb.
Could
Yes?
I, as a reaction, just glare at the person who shot at me and trying to intimidate him?
Glaring is a free action.
Okay. So can I intimidate?
You can roll an intimidation check if you want to try to push it. Well, when you roll that high, I have to see how he reacts. He takes a step back. He's like, he's like, whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the knife. This guy's no longer with us. The man now turns around. He
Is he still on fire?
Huh?
Is he still on fire?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, he is. He's not doing well.
He remains on fire.
He takes a wider stance, and he lets out this roar that suddenly, as arcane energy flickers around him, shoots out into a thunder wave. If you would all make Constitution saving throws. Sorry, not 15-foot cube. Donatello, you are safe from having to make a Constitution saving throw. Everyone
Nice.
else needs to.
Good con save.
That.
Good con save.
Show spell description. You are both pushed back a few feet. Not as much as a inanimate object would be, especially Nella, with her determination. You take half damage on a save. That's what I was stalling for. You both take 7 damage as your ears suddenly ring, and like you're standing in the back of a music theater, the amp. Oh, it says you're not pushed back? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, then you're not. You both stand your ground, but you still feel that ripple through your entire core and body, as your ears this acolyte. Can it be targeted specially, or is it anyone? Each creature. It cannot really be targeted safely. So this acolyte in front of Doc must also. Okay, he makes it. He takes damage. His ears, Donnie, you can see even under the hood, his ears are bleeding. as one eye goes wide and one eye goes narrow at the pupil. He's still standing, but he just got his world rocked.
Ah, my friend, you do not look so well.
Captain, as the tinnitus subsides...
Wait.
What?
Spirit Guardians. He needs to make his save.
He hasn't... He didn't... Oh, he did have his turn.
That was his turn.
Oh, and he didn't do anything. You're right. Okay. Didn't do anything either.
Right.
What's the save is wisdom?
Yes. This DC is 15. That's a 6.
How much damage does he take?
12 radiant damage.
You watch as your guardians, the one in your visualization that's like the commander, looks to you with this look that you know means, can we kill him?
I give a nod saying, let it be done.
He gives a nod back as they flit and they all fly through his body, ripping out chunks until there is nothing connecting his upper and lower torso as he just falls in half in front of you. And the guardians rush to your side, all flittering.
I look at him, and then I look at but the boss isn't looking at me. He's looking at Nella, isn't he?
Yes, his back is fully to you.
I just look at him, even though his back is turned, smirking, and just contemplating what's going to happen the next time I actually step forward.
Captain, it is now your turn.
Well, first thing I need to do is those potions I bought a while ago. I need to drink one, so I need to drink some of it.
For you.
So what do I need to roll for that action?
Please make a Constitution saving throw. With this, we're going to take... I'm going to take a very brief break. If you could also give a Gospel break, y'all can promote yourselves.
Okay, I'll roll the Constitution, then I'll give a Gospel break, then we'll take over when you come back.
Correct. I'll be back. Go ahead, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please gather around and let me tell you a story about a man named Adam who screwed up everything, then blamed God. What a knucklehead. Because of him, we're all born into sin, every last one of us. None are good, no, not one. None are righteous, no, not one. And the wages of sin is death, which means if we stood before a just, holy, righteous God today, we would be condemned of our sinful action. But there's good news, aka the gospel. 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ came, perfect man, perfect God, lived a perfect sinless life, went to Calvary and died for our sins, was buried and rose again on the third day. If you confess your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, believe in your heart God rose from the dead, you shall be saved. Today is the day of the Lord's salvation, stands at the door and knocks. Question is, are you going to answer? And if you've already answered, please share the gospel. It is the marching orders of our Lord and Savior. And also get your butt in a pew, not for one reason, but two. One, to be discipled. The second is to serve others. This gospel break has been brought to you by Tomes of Time. Now, is anybody here? If not, I'm going to sit here and say you can find me on every platform there is under Kyle St. Andrews. Go to kylestandrews.com. Now we're waiting on them to return.
Hey, did you just finish?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. I apologize for not being here. But
You're fine, and Alpha's going to give me some ice.
yes. So I will begin to promote myself. I am, of course, as you know, Donatello. I am also more commonly known as the Black Doctor. You can find me on YouTube under the Black Doctor. You can find me on TikTok at Black Doctor 21. I have over 14K subscribers or followers on TikTok, and I have just recently reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing because I still feel like I don't do anything there. But new content is on the way. Of course, I've recently become more Anglican minded, so more Anglican content will be on there. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I do some really awesome stuff there. Actually, this Sunday on TikTok, I am starting a new thing on Sunday evenings. Sunday evenings at around 6 o'clock, I am going to be leading a group of other TikTokers, whether Anglican or not, through evening prayer. So that's going to be really, really awesome to do. Aside from that, you can subscribe to or become a patron on Patreon. We have some pretty awesome stuff for you. I need to actually put more content on there too. Apologies for that. I have seminary and Hebrew 3 takes a lot of my time. But for the first tier, you can get access to my audiobooks, second tier audiobooks, and exclusive live streams. Third tier, exclusive live streams, audiobooks, and my church history series. And then the fourth one, you get everything else I described, and exclusive personal 3D art by my man John the Apostle. He does great work. He's produced the AI art that you see on all of my stuff. He is completely, absolutely awesome. Also, if you want to find me on other channels, you can also find me on God Logic's YouTube channel and TikTok. So he does some pretty awesome stuff too.
And to clarify, that AI art is art that is generated and then edited.
Yes.
So it's not just a man trying to make bank off of typing stuff into a image generator. It's a man taking that and then expounding upon it. So it is actually creative for the snobbish out there. Speaking of Patreon, hi, I'm a content creator. YouTube's full of them. I have a Patreon. The link should be in the bio, or the bios in my videos, where you can support this and other productions that I'm working on and want to be working on. I currently have a series that y'all should check out here called Stupor War. I have finished filming for it. Not all the episodes are out yet. We're a good number behind. I'm not going to spoil how many. It's a nice round number. So expect those coming out. I'm going to do, at the same tier as you can see my beautifully cute, handsome boy dog, on my Patreon, just $3 a month. You can see I'll be doing outtake compilations from that. I'll be doing a promo at some point here, sort of a trailer for it, a little teaser, if you will. And yeah, for those just watching from YouTube, well, I guess we're not streaming on TikTok. My TikTok is .StephenTheStobel. That's where I do most of my content creation, though I have fortunately gotten back into doing stuff for this channel. Yeah. Let's see. Who has and has not gone? I know Doc's gone.
I think just Nella. I like it. The fiance extraordinaire. I finally worked that out.
I found out that I could change the names here on the fly.
Cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
I did that. For anyone, for people watching, that's not her being pompous. That's me being a happy man.
Mine would be too long. It'd probably be priest and a half shell.
No, that would fit within the count. I'm confident that would fit within the letter count.
I went to go get some drink a while ago when I got done. I went to get a pecan pie, and my pecan pie store-bought was set on the shelf like this, and the whole pie run to one side.
Gravity. What a jerk.
I know. I'm like, dang blasted. Okay, forget that. Come back. Doc, did you mention something about Spotify before we go?
Not yet. Why do you
No,
ask?
you didn't. Because my phone, for some reason, thought someone said Spotify and had Spotify blaring.
Wow.
Well, fortunately, we didn't hear it.
Well, I
Y'all-
recently, like today, I recently starred on the first episode of a new podcast that's coming out. It's the Biblical Presbyterian podcast, so keep an eye out for that. I'll be promoting it on my channels, so it's a little bit odd. For a first person to guest star on a Presbyterian podcast is an Anglican, so it's weird, but it's great. It was an honor to do.
That is cool.
I'm gonna wait for Null to return.
While
Hey, you
we're
know
waiting
what's
for-
weird?
Go ahead.
Like yesterday, I had my first beer.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I've never had one. You got me beat.
I'm sorry, you're the man who got me to try vodka? And yesterday
Yes.
you had your first beer?
Yeah, well, it's weird. I've tasted other kinds of alcohol, but I've just never really was interested in the taste of beer because I've always been told that it's bitter. And you're right, it is. But it's an acquired taste. So I'm trying to warm myself up to it because all of my mentors drink beer, and I'm like, I want to be a part of this.
What did you have?
Actually, I'm in the mood for one. Give me 1 second. Let me get one from the refrigerator.
And then we'll be resuming after this topic.
Okay, I'm back. Let's see. What I have is actually the Michael Lott's Ultra Infusions. So it's a mix of like regular light beer plus like fruit.
You should just drink cider.
I prefer cider.
It's good.
I've never heard of that specific drink. So all right. As
I'll
the
send
as the curtains regain, Captain, you take a swig. You break the wax seal of the cork. You take a swig. You worked on a ship. When they would clean the deck with chemicals, pine sol, turpentine, that immediately becomes your perception of taste. And the liquid, as you ingest it, burns with an acridity and a bitter raunch that you take it, but it's like the tough guy taking a punch in the mouth. It's still a punch in the mouth. You're not sure how it's affecting you. You feel something bubbling in your guts. Noah, did you have another battle clip you wanted to do? I'm sorry.
No, not yet.
Okay. So how much health does that give me?
You're not sure yet. The effect of it hasn't hit you.
Okay, that's one of my actions. Do you mind if I do another action, or did that take up both?
We'll say yes. Yeah, you can take it.
Okay, in my backpack, I got a small bottle. It ain't small, it's a nice bottle of Mimic's blood that you let me gather. I want to throw that Mimic's blood on the guy that's on fire in front of me.
Okay. You do. It hits. It hits where Nella's claw has slashed open his clothes. Most of it gets on his clothes, which it quickly eats away along with the fire. Oh, right, he's on fire. And it does. You feel like it's doing a lot less than the fire's doing for. Lance will continue to retreat into the toll house. This one is no longer with us. Niela.
She is going to slash at him again. She's gonna try and aim at his neck both times.
Okay.
And while she's attacking, she's going to just like not get right next to his ear, but kind of speak in a way where only he can hear her. As she like kind of holds him still. I will make sure your tainted blood never curses this earth again. And she's gonna try and rip open his throat with her claws.
Okay. Roll damage.
16.
He draws back in a way to where you do get some very nice clean cuts through flesh of his shoulder. So that did 16?
Yep.
Your second claw goes, you feel his trapezoid muscle come undone under the bare of your claws. And he falls to the ground, clutching his now fully immobilized shoulder. And as your turn ends, you will take another legendary action. And he will... Kyle, can Sean please make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
And you roll twice, and we're taking the lowest.
Oh.
Okay. Sean, you suddenly blink. You feel the world around you slough away. And the first thing that hits you, as the shock of that turpentine's taste subsides, you smell the aroma of pastries and fresh baked goods and donuts and pies, and you open your eyes around you from the shock, and you seem to be floating in this white void full of slowly turning maple bars and donuts and bagels and cupcakes. And you see a sort of amorphous being of what's that called? Of icing, with a chef's hat and two beady sprinkles the size of fingers, her eyes look at you and go, "Oh, hello there!
Hello?
What brings you to the realm of Bagol, god of baked goods?"
Where?
Bagol, god of baked goods, and my dimension, the pastry realm.
I must be drunk.
Oh, you are not drunk, my boy, but someone has given you bad Crisco. Allow me to give you something much more beneficial as he drifts towards you. A shimmering maple bar, not covered with caramel, but with chocolate.
Wow, I'm in Wonderland. Okay, I partake of this not knowing what's going on.
Your health snaps to full as you feel the flavor just gone and rejuvenated. You feel rejuvenated. Meanwhile, Nella, as you're taking in the shock of Sean being gone, what's your AC?
16.
You feel 2 arrows sink into your back,
Take
dealing 7 damage.
Can I glare at that guy again to just make him stop?
Roll intimidation.
I like full on just look over at him now.
He gives you a what you assume is an obscene gesture. Guy's dead. The figure smirks. And he looks to you, Nella. Actually, no, you're looking away.
For a second.
How do I want to do this? When you look back, you see Carmichael.
What?
And he just waves at you. Sean, you suddenly feel yourself being pulled through the dimension as Bagul waves at you, and you come back to reality. The maple bar still in your hand, half eaten.
I'm keeping that bar. Oh, well, how did Carmichael get there?
Yeah, you see Carmichael beside Nella, as all things should be.
Well, how many feet from this knucklehead am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. Nope, I can't make it there in 6 moves. I pull my rifle and shoot this guy.
Okay, roll for it.
Darn.
We'll say we'll say that hits. Roll damage. Okay. It hits him. You see the shimmer of the shield around him. He is hit though.
So, and I got one more action.
Okay.
I'm gonna load one of my pistols.
You find one of your pistols loaded with a drizzle of icing down the barrel.
Okay, I fire this thing. Let's go.
Roll for it. Roll damage. You see a sprinkle launch from the muzzle of your gun.
You've got to be kidding me.
It, as it hits center mass, on the guy, and he staggers back, and like a needler from Halo, it shatters as his chest just kind of erupts with viscera, and he goes, ah! And he falls before you all.
What's in the great name of Baylor just happened?
I got a new friend.
He's dead.
And Lance is incanting the prayer of the word of healing from behind you, Donatello, as you feel yourself heal for 12 health points.
Nice.
Which it is now your turn, as that healing energy fills you and pushes out the arrows. And you saw the strange center figure of this whole attack morph into Carmichael.
Right. I call out to Nella and to the captain. Do not believe what you see. That is not our Carmichael. Do they respond? Like, do they actually believe that he is? That it's him?
Carmichael goes, "What are you talking about? It's totally you! Come on, guys!"
I first walk up to. I walk. Yeah, that's within my thing. So I walk up to him. Of course, my spiritual guardians are still up, and then I summon my spiritual weapon to the side and attack him with my spiritual weapon.
I came all the way from the teleportation circle. Roll to hit. Saren worked really hard. Roll damage.
That's a 5.
As you cut into it, the form drops.
Is he still on fire?
The fire has now been put out.
And then I smirk as I stab him with my javelin.
Roll damage.
For 8.
How do you want to do this?
So, with my javelin, I charge at him. You mess with our minds, you send us to voids, and you disguise yourself as one of our beloved. Now, just as our forefathers would have done to that snake, I shall now do it to you. I rush towards him, shoving my javelin in his body so that his heart goes through his body and out of it, head first from my javelin.
Now, you are presented with a heart severed of its arteries that is still beating, and with each beat comes a inch to 3 inch pulse of this onyx jade energy you have been witnessing emanate from these people all through this fight. What do you do?
So she's having a couple emotions. Presented with that and what she wanted to do after this guy was dead, she's going to like use her claws to like pierce the heart, and she's gonna take a bite out of it and eat it.
You do so. It's bitter. Captain, in these last moments, the slowly dulling eyes, both the magic spark narrowing and the proper eye narrowing, the head sloughs over to you, Captain. And he goes, "What are you gonna do? You can't stop the inevitable." What do you do?
I hit him with a cutlass in the face.
Okay. You slash him across the face. As a force bursts out from his face, pushing the two halves cleanly into a shadow figure with jagged edges, emerald and jade, rise up, an almost draconic appearance about them. You all hear in this alien tone, 7 heads with 7 priests, with 7 breaths and 7 feasts. As it snaps out and the energy swirls and goes around Donatello into the part of your gear where you house the onyx tetrahedron.
I pull out the tetrahedron to look at it.
It gleams with potential to benefit you, as it has thus far. If you would like, you may roll an insight check.
I would like to use my inspiration.
You can do so. Something is amiss. But it's not inherently with this artifact. It's the origin of this artifact. A tool is neither good nor evil. A tool has a purpose, and a tool can be used for good and evil. A hammer can be used to build a house. A hammer can be used to cave in a skull. The hammer was made to pound things. Whether you use that for good or evil is up to the user. That is the insight you gain from this gamble.
I look at it and see it pulsing with power. And I look at it closely. I understand the power that you hold. I understand the weight that it carries. You are capable of so much evil, but in the hands of the righteous, you are capable of so much good.
As you say that, in the glassy texture of the onyx, you see a grim and jagged smile as you say so much evil. But as you say the antonyms, what is a non-divine, what is an earthly paragon of good and love to Donatello? What does he see in the onyx when it reflects back his purest image of earthly capacity for good?
He thinks of one of the great heroes of old. Some of the great knights, of course, but also some of the great common men who, with very little, gave much.
You see so? And with that, you are left with this artifact.
I take the sign of the Great Palor that I have and then place it on the top of this artifact, saying, "You will be used for the benefit of others and for the restoration of the religion of the Great Palor. And I will make sure that you never fall into the wrong hands. This I swear."
And with that, the curtains draw to a close as we finish tonight's session of the Tones of Time. Thank you all for playing. We will be back hopefully the next fortnight with hopefully the full party to see where we go from here. Have a good night, and God bless.